Well, it's great to have you guys back together again. We're in the third week of the message series called Relationship Goals. And again, I just want to express my gratitude to those of you who are leading life groups, those who've started brand new ones and have gathered people together. I trust by week 3, you're starting to get more comfortable with each other. And we're praying that God would do a great thing in all of our relationships. We know that we are better when we serve Jesus together. If you have been with us, you know what we're doing. We've got real goals that we believe will take us to a real spiritual result in all of our relationships. What are we going to be? We are Christ-centered. We're all about Jesus. We are mission-driven. We're not about ourselves. We're here to make a difference. We are, week 3, and this is what we're talking about today, we are devil kicking. And then finally, next week, we're going to talk about being covenant-keeping believers in all that we do. Let's talk about devil kicking and start with the reality that, as we looked at the words of Paul, we're in a battle, that our battle's not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities of this dark world. What's so interesting to me is whenever I get in a difficult place in a relationship, in my marriage with Amy, in anything, I often think, this is just things going bad. And I tend to forget that there's a real enemy with real strategies and real attacks. And so we need to be aware, be alert, and be prepared. We talked about the way that our enemy will often attack. He'll try to seduce and he'll try to distract. What I want to do is I want to start with the distractions and ask you to think about over the last 7 days, if we're trying to be Christ-centered and we're trying to be mission-driven, then we know that our enemy is going to try to take us off course and show anything, shiny things, good things, bad things, to distract us from our purest mission. It could be that we're distracted by our yard, our appearance, our hair problems, bad hair day, our kids, a test that's coming up, a boss that's making us crazy, financial worries, or a health issue. What I want you to do is think about over the last 7 days, was there something, if there is, what was it that distracted you from being Christ-centered and mission-driven? Let's go ahead and take some time. Try to be real honest, because this is where we have breakthroughs over the last 7 days. Where were you distracted from being Christ-centered and mission-driven? Well, I hope you had a moment to really be honest about any area that you might be distracted. I think this is one of the things that we're all vulnerable to, because we can be distracted by so many things. If you haven't noticed yet, the questions tend to get more difficult as they go. So if the first one was hard for you, the second one's going to be really, really hard. This is where we really start to see breakthroughs. I want to ask you and have you think about and talk about, if you're comfortable, the big question that we talked about this weekend, and that is this. Where are you most vulnerable right now to spiritual attacks? If you think about where you are currently, at what point, at what place are you most vulnerable to spiritual attacks? We talked about distractions, and it could be that there's some distraction that's taking you away. It could be that you're comparing. It could be, as we talked about, that our enemy tries to seduce us. And maybe in this group it's appropriate, or maybe you might just get together with just the girls or just the guys and talk real openly about any sexual vulnerability you might have. Remember, the scripture is really clear that there should not even be a hint of sexual immorality. So as much as it's appropriate, and let's make sure we are honoring and appropriate, let's talk about it truthfully and bring it out there. Sin grows best in the dark, and so we're going to bring it out into the light. Where are you currently most vulnerable to spiritual attacks? And this will give us a good indicator of where we're going to pray. Let's talk openly and let the truth set us free. Well, I just want to say thank you to those of you that took maybe a risk and were more honest, because that's really where we can find healing, when we start to be transparent about what we're going through. Third question I want to ask is one that I think can really, really be helpful. We talked about the idea of this. Why would we resist a temptation in the future that we have the power to eliminate today? I want to try to just bring a little bit of application to that question and have you think about this. If you know where you're most currently vulnerable, what we can do today is, in light of that knowledge, we can set some systems up or some protection up or some boundaries that could help protect us from being more vulnerable to that same type of temptation or distraction in the future. For example, in my life, it's based on all sorts of systems. I don't plan on ever doing anything wrong, but I've got lots and lots of systems in place that would make it much more difficult for me to wander in trouble or to get distracted, all the way down from how I use my phone, to who all has my passwords, to who sees what I do with finances, to how I spend my time, to how I travel, to who I stay with when I'm on the road and who goes with me, and the list goes on and on and on and on. What I've done is I've recognized any place that not only might I be vulnerable or where people could actually criticize from the outside without knowing as much. What I want to do is I want to eliminate any of the temptations or vulnerabilities in the future by making wise decisions today. So this might take some work on your part, but I want you to think about this. If you know where you're currently vulnerable, what can you do today to eliminate some of the possible temptation or distraction in the future? I want you to think about it. It's a really important question. If you know where you're vulnerable today, what can you do to eliminate some of the future distractions or temptation? Let's talk about it. Let's be open. This could be a breakthrough. And then when we're through, what I want you to do is I want you to pray for each other. The spiritual battle is real. It takes place in heavenly places, and so we're going to go and use the weapons that we have. They are not the weapons of this world. Ours have divine power to demolish strongholds, so we're going to seek God together. We're going to pray, talk openly, and we believe we're going to have breakthroughs. So thank you, and let's be open, and then let's be prayerful.